Hey guys, my name is Luke Sartor. I'm a commercial photographer here in Brisbane, and today I'm going to run you through how to approach marketing and creative agencies to help you book those bigger shoots. So, first off, I just want to go over some past experiences of mine and why you should reach out to them in this way. So, something I've said in a previous video is Instagram and putting your work out there on these platforms where you have no control over who sees them. Yes, absolutely, it's important to be on them, and you can definitely land some big jobs or some work from it. But you are at the whims of the algorithm. You're at the whims of hoping that someone can see it. Whereas if you reach out to agencies directly, you have direct control over if someone's on the end of that phone line, or if that email reaches that inbox, or if you are physically meeting with them, how that agency perceives you as a person. And that has led, in my experience, to way more success than just hoping that I get found in the algorithm with everyone else. So when I've been able to meet with these agencies, they've been able to get my, not just see my work in the way that I want to present it to them, in the way that I present my portfolio and more of my work, but they're able to see my personality. You're able to joke and realize that you're a human being and that's someone that you want to work with. It's definitely something that I found in my experience is that, like, if you're a decent human and you're a pleasure to work with and you're fun to be around, you're way more likely to be hired than someone that's just a stiff and awkward and not good to deal with. So being able to show that in person is really good. And then the other reason that it's really important to reach out to agencies is because they also talk amongst each other. I've had an experience quite recently, actually, where I've reached out to an agency with my portfolio, and they've come back to me saying that they're already familiar with my work because of another agency that I have made contacts with and shot for before, and they've pitched on a job together using my work to try and get work. That job hasn't eventuated. However, they're already aware of me because of making the effort of being there in person with other agencies. Cool. So now we're going to cover how to find these agencies and actually reach out to them. So, how do we find these agencies? They're typically in larger cities for all the really high paying jobs. Not to say that there are no good jobs to do in smaller agencies in small towns, but just there's just more of them in bigger cities. You want to go on to, there's two ways to do this. One, you can do the manual way, where you go through Google, go through your Yellow Pages or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, and manually find the agency, try and see if they have any phone numbers or emails on their website, because sometimes they do. They have, like, Shelley, creative director, uh, Cameron, art director, blah, 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 and they might even have a contact detail there. Typically, they don't have their contact details for the individuals, but you can still find their phone number for the agency or the hello or info email and contact them directly. It's really important to contact them directly. Or the more efficient way is to buy a list. So this is what I've done, and I stumbled across this list doing the manual way first, and someone told me about this list that you could buy. In the case of, if you're in Australia, it's called Portfolio Unreal, and they have a comprehensive list of all the bigger, all the agencies in the capital cities with contact details and positions of, like, the creative director, art director, managing director, producer, everyone in their organization with a email and their phone number if it's available. So what you want to do is, if they, with all those details, you ideally pick up the phone and ring them directly. Being able to speak and, like, realize that there's, it's a nice human on the other end before just directly sending the email is definitely been a net positive for the way that I do this. However, if they don't have the phone number, you just email them directly, and we're going to go into what that sounds like now. So first off, who you want to contact on this list once you find it. There's no real point in you as a creative contacting the copywriter when that's not the work that you're going to do. Perhaps if you are a copywriter, that is someone that you want to directly reach out to. But as a photographer or a cinematographer, videographer, you want to reach out to the creative director, art director, art buyer, producer, or managing producer, managing creative director, head of creative, something like that. You don't need to be reaching out to say they're the global director of the company, or you don't need to be reaching out to the copywriter or something like that. And I would also add to that list not only the heads of these departments or like creative director, but also the like, I don't know, can't remember what the word is off the top of my head, but like the understudies to them. So like, people that are, they're not a full-blown creative director, but they're on their way working to it, because if that's a contact that you can make on their way up, you can grow together, they can remember you, they're out to make a name for themselves, and they'll be like, "Oi, this is the guy that we need," or whatever. Okay, so you have a phone number to call. We want to make sure we make the phone call. You got to stop being a little bitch and you pick up the phone and you ring these people. And the first couple of times, you're probably going to stutter, you're probably going to mess it up. It doesn't matter. You just need to do it because it is really, really effective. Also, practice, like have fake phone calls with yourself and run the script of different conversations, a way that you could say this. So the phone call will be something as simple as this. There's my phone. Hey Jason, my name's Luke Sartor. How are you? Hey, yeah, good man. What can I help you with? Hey, I'm a photographer here in Brisbane and I'm just reaching out with my latest portfolio. I'd love to be able to send it through to you. And if you like what you see, meet up and work together in some way. Oh, yeah, no worries, man. I'm definitely send that through. You can send it through to jason at bigdogstudios.com.au. Awesome, man. I'll send this through to you right now and look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day. Yeah, you too. Cheers. It's that easy. It doesn't have to be a super long-winded conversation, and for the most part, they're all quite polite. Sometimes you might get a little bit of a, "How did you get this number?" or "Who are you again?" and something like that. You just explain, "Hey mate, I got it off Portfolio and Reel, and I'm just reaching out with my latest portfolio." You don't need to take up lots of their time. You don't want to be salesy. It just is a chill touch base. Get it to them. Now let's move on to the email. Okay, so we're about to go into how to actually email them and how to structure email. But first, you want to go into the agency's website and find some work that you really like. You don't want to send an email that's just generic to everyone and that you can just tell that it's not tailored to them. It needs to be genuine, and that's what I've found has the most effect. So first off, go find some body of work, and it doesn't even have to be like a photo. It could be a video. It could be their web design that they give out to people, something like that. Just something that you like about their work. I'll read you. This is a actual email that I got a call back from, and we'll go through the full email, and then we'll go through the structure of how to structure it for yourself. Good morning, Carissa. My name is Luke Sartor. I'm a commercial photographer in Brisbane with a bold, raw, minimal style. I love the work you guys did with KFC, Kentucky Fried Couture. It's hilarious and so cool. I've recently been shooting for Brisbane City Council and City Cave. Attached is a snippet of my portfolio, and you can see more of my work at www.lukesartor.com. I'm currently represented by Katrine from Agent K as one of her up-and-coming photographers. It'd be great to arrange a time to meet and discuss any potential collaborations I may be suitable for. Thank you for your consideration, and I look forward to your response, Luke. It's that simple. It's short, to the point, and it's not salesy or all out there and this big long email that no one wants to read. Like if you read it and you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, get to the point," or whatever, they're definitely going to be doing it, okay? So let's break that down now for how it will look for you, because some of these elements you may not need to have in there because it just doesn't apply to you, and some of them you definitely want to have in there. So obviously, hello, good morning, introduction, and then introducing yourself. My name's Luke Sartor. I'm a commercial photographer in Brisbane with a bold, raw, minimal style. Like who you are, what you do, and even a piece of mine, I go with bold, raw, minimal style, or you can say I'm a sports, portrait, and travel photographer, something like that. You then want to compliment them genuinely on some of the work that they've already done. So for them, I saw their Kentucky Fried thing that they did, where it was a campaign. They ran like a runway and made like Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, clothing, and all this stuff. It was really cool. So you put that in there and compliment them. And before we move on, you can see how that's been broken down into one little packet. You don't want to have this big block of text that looks like a massive paragraph, because it will be intimidating them to read it and just a whole heap of words, and they're not going to read that. It needs to be, oh, cool, small digestible packets that are to the point. Next, you want to say about some stuff that you've recently been shooting for. Even if it's for a small campaign, or it's not a big campaign, or it's not a well-known brand, I would still say who you've been shooting for or the kind of projects that you've been shooting on. Next, obviously saying, sweet, attaches my portfolio, which we'll go into how to make that look in a minute, and then where they can see more of your work, because you don't want to go send them your entire body of work, only the stuff that you really want them to see. And then having in there, not everyone is represented by an agent, but if you are, saying who your agent is. Next block. It would be great to arrange a time to meet and discuss any potential collaborations I'm assuming for. So collaborations in this kind of world is jobs, but it also can open up for, cool, we could do some work to pitch on a job. Like, it's all in that professional realm. Thank you for your consideration and looking forward to your response. I like to have looking forward to your response because it sort of is like, I'm waiting to hear back to you. I expect some kind of response. Doesn't always happen, but I just like to put it in there. And it's that simple. Main takeaways is that you want it to be short, to the point, and not salesy in any way. Let's go into now how to construct your portfolio to send to the agencies. Okay, so this is my current portfolio that I'm sending through to the agencies looking for work. Now, I customize this depending on the agency that I'm sending it to. So if it's looking for work, or if it's not an agency, a client, but if I'm looking for work and it's really specific for portraiture or people, I lead with my portraiture portfolio, part of the portfolio. If it's more sports related, I'll lead with the sports part of my portfolio. And if it's more travel related, I'll lead with the more travel part of my portfolio. But for the most part, this is how I send it out. And then you only want it to be no more than like 20 megabytes. So it's important that you export your photos small and you don't have too many of them. And you only want about 30 pages max. Like, it doesn't need to be enormous. So for me, I only have about 9 or 10 pages of each category, and then that's more than enough. If they want to see more work, like, this is meant to be the best of your work and stuff that's going to get them to pay attention to you, they can then go from here onto your website. And then that's really important. I'll make another video about that, about constructing your website so that it's the most effective way for people to see your work. Because it's no good people rocking up to your website and not being able to find your work. There's too busy and too much going on. You have sales going on. It also needs to be short, concise, and to the point of, this is what I do and how I do it. Something I like to have on mine, and I think is really important, is that you have your contact details at the end and also a photo of yourself so that they can see that you're a human being and the kind of person that you are. If you're a really loud and out there kind of person, that could help you maybe stand out from other people. If you're pretty plain Jane looking like me, it just helps them put a face to the name, and you never know, they could see you out and about and stop you or something like that. It's just really good to have that personal element. Okay guys, so that's how I reach out to agencies and I found to be effective. Now, to go along with all that, the final point that I want to put through that is just really important is to stay relentless with it. You can't just do this once and expect it all just to fall into place. People forget about you. People might just go to look into it and then they get distracted and do something else. You need to be checking in with them or going through with a new portfolio at least twice a year. And once that you've done that with one group of agencies, go find another, or go find some individual companies or something like that to continue to reach out to. Doing it once and just letting it forget is not enough. And once you do get a response from agencies, make sure you touch base with them again, like later in the year. I have a video on how to do my email marketing, so make sure you check it on that, because once you have this list and you have the people that have gotten back to you, you put them into your email marketing list, and that's another way to keep having your work in front of them, keep yourself being relevant, and you never know, you could get a job because you land in the inbox at the right time. I hope you guys got value and learned something from this, and let me know how you go with this. I'm really keen if someone puts this into practice and they get themselves some work, because I know it's really worked for myself. So good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.